Hey y'all, I'm Derek and welcome to Bad Movie Friday Night. Unfortunately, it's not going to be much of an episode this week. We're all kind of sick around here. Beakley can't even get out of bed. He's literally green. So, I thought I'd try to make it a chill kind of day and just curl up with a movie for one of my favorite franchises, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Dang, my magic snap's not working. Let's try a...
The Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles are the creation of Kevin Eastman and Peter Laird. In 1984, during the independent publishing boom of the 1980s, they released a comic book, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, which was a quasi-parody of comics at the time under the banner of Mirage Studios, so called because their studio didn't really exist and was, in fact, their respective living rooms. The comic soon became an underground success, and within a few years, a licensing agent named Mark Friedman approached the pair to expand their franchising opportunities. In 1987, the franchise exploded into the mainstream with their 5-day-a-week cartoon series, followed by action figures, live-action movies, and reboots about every 5 years, continuing to stay fresh for every new generation.
Since I'm sick, I'm not making anything clever tonight. I'm just making some creamy tomato soup and some grilled cheese sandwiches. A great nostalgic comfort food for a great nostalgic movie. I'm so excited. I've got the original live-action movie right. The 2007 animated movie? I actually own this? Beakley, I grabbed the wrong movie. Could you go get me the right one? Beakley? Oh. Well, I don't want to walk all the way back to the office to get the right one, so... what the heck, we'll watch this one. Right now, I'm just cutting up all my vegetables. I've got some tomatoes, onion, garlic, and carrots. So let's get started.
Our movie starts off with...
Dang it, Harvey, keep your filthy mitts off my turtles!
Anyway, the movie begins with a quick recap of the Turtles' history. I think this is to get newcomers up to speed, but there's a problem. It explains the very different past, but it doesn't explain up to the present. And that's going to become a problem in a little bit. Then we go into another flashback, apparently in Lord of the Rings.
Wait, what? We go from New York to Middle-earth? That's either some fantastic whiplash or the cold medicine's kicking in.
Anyways, we learned that there was an ancient warlord who used the stars to become immortal, but also accidentally turned his generals into stone and released 13 monsters onto the world.
Not 10 minutes in, I'm already confused as all get out. Must be the cough syrup. So let's start our soup. In this pot, I've already got the carrots and the onion softening. To that, we're going to add our garlic. And just let that sweat for about a minute.
Now, back to present times, and we're in Central America?
Dang it, I want to watch Ninja Turtles, not Where in the World is Carmen Sandiego?
Where we meet a group of peasants being bullied by a group of militants. And here's where we get the first problem with the animation. The characters look off. The uncanny valley is prevalent, and the characters' eye lines don't look like they line up anywhere. But also, no one's mouth is ever completely closed. It's almost like every character has had a stroke. And there's a slight unnatural shine to everything. Very interesting, as the colors are very muted. Anyways, the militants go off into the jungle and meet the ghost of the jungle, a vigilante who protects the people from injustice.
It's Leonardo. Can't hide it.
And also we meet April O'Neil, who's traded in her newscaster's job for being Lara Croft. Anyways, she finds Leonardo.
Because coincidences are the best way to move a story forward. Okay, when the hard vegetables got soft, I added the tomatoes, about 32 ounces worth of chicken stock, some tomato paste, salt, pepper, and basil. So we're just going to bring this up to a boil and then reduce to a simmer and let it simmer for about 30 minutes or so.
Well, April explains to Leonardo, and to the audience, what has been happening. Leonardo was sent down to Central America to learn how to be a better leader. How that works, I don't know. She also explains that in his absence, Donatello has taken a job as an IT guy. Michelangelo is a party performer. And Raphael is just mopey. No one's sure what he's been doing. She also explains that she's down there to pick up a statue for a millionaire and has got to go home as soon as possible, urging Leo to do the same.
Phew. That's a lot of exposition for about 5 minutes.
Back in New York, we learn what Raphael's been doing. He is a vigilante called the Night Watcher. Also, Casey Jones is dating April, and is also her delivery boy. So when she shows up back in New York, he helps her take the statue to the millionaire, who's obviously the bad guy. So obvious, in fact, that as soon as April leaves, he meets up with the remnants of the Foot Clan, led by...
Wait a minute. Who's that?
Okay, let me explain. I know from several TV shows and several comics that this is supposed to be Shredder's daughter. However, it's not really clear in the film, and if you're new to the series, you're not given any backstory to understand how she is in control of the massive Foot Clan. Anyways, the millionaire contracts the Foot to be on the lookout for the monsters, who will obviously come into town because he's collected all 4 statues.
I guess he was summoning the Nazgul. Well, while that was all going on, I was just using an immersion blender to break up all the big solids in the soup. If you don't have an immersion blender, you can use a food processor. Just do it in batches and wait till it cools off a little bit. Now, to that, I'm going to add about half a cup of cream. Just stir it all together, and then turn it on low to keep it warm.
Okay, Leo comes home. Raph is mad. Leo takes the team out to train, and Raph is mad. Raph runs away to become the Night Watcher, and he has a heart-to-heart with Casey Jones. The millionaire brings the statues to life to bring the monsters to him. Soon, all the monsters are almost caught, but the millionaire lets a little thing slip. He wants to break the curse of the monsters, not fulfill it. His statue comrades are not too happy about that.
There's a lot of drama in this movie. But is drama what you really want when you're watching a movie about turtles who happen to be ninjas?
Now there's tension in the turtle den, and Raph is out playing vigilante. He runs into the last monster, but it gets away, and is soon confronted by Leonardo, and they have a fight, where Raph's helmet comes off.
Raph? What?
3 fingers. Just saying. He obviously has 3 fingers, and he's not wearing a trench coat. How could you not figure this out?
And the confrontation begins again in earnest. Raph wins the fight but realizes he's gone too far, and runs away, giving the bad guys ample time to kidnap Leo.
Once again, coincidences.
And Raph goes back to the den, and Splinter makes a call to arms, and the Turtles, Casey and April, plan to storm the fortress of the millionaire.
So while they get their plans together, let's grill us some cheese. Now this is a non-stick pan, and I've got a piece of bread with some butter on one side. To that, I'm going to add a slice of cheddar, a couple of slices of ham, another slice of cheddar, and a piece of bread with butter on the outside. Now a lot of people move their grilled cheese around. You shouldn't do that, otherwise you're going to tear the bread. Just let it sit, let the bread on the bottom get nice and toasty, and then flip it over when the cheese starts to melt.
Okay, so the ceremony is underway, and the stone generals turn on the millionaire. At the same time, the turtles storm the tower.
I have to admit, this is actually a fun scene.
And when they get in, they find out that the millionaire is actually trying to save the world from the monsters. They rescue Leo and begin to stall by fighting the statues, while April, Casey, and the Foot Clan, who are now working with the Turtles, go out to find the last monster. They finally are able to track the monster and bring it to the tower, and all the statues and monsters are banished to another dimension. Then, the Foot Clan disappear.
We will have further business together. The kind that involves familiar faces from your past.
Very ominous for a movie that has no sequel.
And the movie ends with the Turtles jumping over the rooftops, rededicating themselves to fighting for justice.
So let's get our food. Very simple for when you're not feeling well. Grilled cheese on a plate with a bowl of tomato soup. So, final thoughts on the film.
There are some problems with this film. The in-universe continuity is unclear, so new arrivals to the franchise don't understand what exactly is going on. And older viewers can't understand where the story takes place because the story is a massive jump forward, or maybe it's backwards, or maybe somewhere in the middle, I don't know. The animation is a bit sloppy. The characters' proportions are off, making it seem their appendages look either too short or too long, sometimes at the same time, which I didn't think was possible. The plot is nonsensical, but that could have been solved if they showed the exposition instead of telling it. In other words, they should have made a movie to explain this movie before making this movie. There are good things about this movie, however. The dynamics between the turtles feels genuine and fun to watch. If you're a Turtles fan, you may enjoy this, but only in the same way you'd enjoy Turtles 3, as in laugh that they made this at all. If you're new to the franchise, I would recommend not watching this until you've seen at least one of the television series first. It's not a good introduction, but sort of like fun apocrypha for people in the know.
So when you're feeling a little under the weather, make yourself some really simple, really good food, pop in a nostalgic movie, and start feeling a little bit better. Well, thanks for stopping by, thanks for tuning in, and come back next week as Bad Movie Friday Night continues.